That does not look secure. Can't you attach it to, like, higher up on the little post part?
Good. My worm!
This is why sometimes I wish we had visuals. Guys, Sarah just pulled a worm out of nowhere.
My worm.
What do you mean your worm? Why do you have that? Is that one of those worms on a string? Why are you holding it like...
It's got eyes.
Where? Oh, hey. Oh. I don't like that. Okay. Please put the worm away. He's making me uncomfortable.
Leo gave it to me. I've literally had it since freshman year, which is fitting for today's episode. Good evening, everybody. Good evening,
it's not
ladies
evening
and
when this
gentlemen.
goes up, Sarah.
Good evening.
No,
to me
it's
right
noon.
Now. Good evening.
Well.
Good noon, everybody.
There you go.
My name is Sarah. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Danny.
No way. This is a podcast. It's called Too Stupid. If you couldn't already tell, it's two stupid besties for the resties. Just having a good old time.
Could you imagine going up to somebody and be like, "Hi, what's your name?" "Oh, I'm Sarah." "What did you say?" "Oh, wow." "Oh, really?" Or what did you even say?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? That's your name?
Really? Interesting name.
Just
if
like somebody called my name interesting, yeah, that's such a. I feel like that's a backhanded compliment.
It is.
Right?
Anywho.
Anyways,
as we've previously kind of mentioned, we've got a fun little episode. Wormy already started it off.
That's his name?
Wormy. I really haven't named him. I forget he's here all the time. I literally didn't remember he was here until he fell out of my mug just now. And I was like, my worm!
Why was he in your mug?
He just hangs.
Oh, I see now. Okay, see, that was out of frame, so you have to understand how shocking that was for me when I saw that.
My worm! Anywho, I'm gonna explain the episode a little bit more in detail in a few moments, but let's get into our tic-tacs of the day. What are you raising your hand for a comment?
I'm raising my hand.
A question or a comment? Are you gonna make a comment or a question right now?
I'm gonna make a rant.
Okay, go ahead. What do you have to say? Say for the class.
I have small talk that I need to share, which I feel like is something we should start doing before our TikToks.
Okay.
Like life updates, topics on the mind, because I got one brewing.
Oh, what do you have on the mind?
So,
oh god, I'm scared.
2 episodes ago, it's nothing crazy. I just need to hear your opinion on it. Okay. 2 episodes ago, we ranked Golden Globes outfits, right?
Yeah.
And I remember us talking about a certain celebrity,
Taylor Swift,
who goes by Miss T Swift. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I knew you were gonna bring this up. I felt it. and we are 2 hours away from each other, and I felt it.
Yeah. I sent the signals. She got them.
Yeah, I got them.
I remember in that episode saying like, "Oh my god, that girl can't catch a break."
Yeah. She really.
I feel differently now.
Okay, I know what you're saying. I've seen your Snapchat stories. I know what you're saying.
Don't expose me like that. Whoa! Hang on.
Explain your views on this first.
Okay, so actually, the TikTok that I was gonna share was gonna be her speech, but then I thought, nah, I would rather share something more entertaining. Obviously, the Grammys happened. Right. And she won her 13th, 14th Grammy.
Yeah.
And in her speech, she announced a new album. Now, let me just say, it takes a lot. Well, okay. I was going to say it takes a lot for me to like hate a celebrity unless they just straight up do something like horrible and illegal. But like
not
just
good.
that Yeah, okay,
It's
just
like not
disclaimer,
acceptable.
when I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that, that doesn't
Right.
include people who have, like,
Who are
committed
just
crimes.
terrible
I'm
people.
talking
Yeah.
about just, like yeah. I'm talking about just, like, regular celebrity A-list, B-list, whatever celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot, okay? But the hate that I have seen just kind of slowly brewing, like the past month, I would say, online, that I've kind of started to see the hate slowly bubble up and spill over, some may
Mm-hmm.
say. And I'm kind of here for it. One, because I love celeb drama, because I have no drama in my personal life, which is on purpose. I don't want drama in my personal life. But celeb drama or like YouTuber drama, it's just a little spice, to add to my life. And I starting to be persuaded by the public and the hate on Taylor Swift because
Mm.
I thought it was so crummy of her to be like, this is my 14th Grammy. Also, guys, two an album 2 years in the making. I'm really like, why would you say that at an award show? Like,
Yeah.
it just seems so like not only like full of yourself, but also like it's just like wrong place, wrong time. Especially to like what really got me on people's sides is like she said it in front of like Miley Cyrus, who like just won her first Grammy. Which again, we've already talked about this. I don't really care about awards that much, but when you
Mm-hmm.
have 13 Grammys, which are I feel like as far as I know, Grammys and like the Oscars, I feel like are the top two most like crazy whatever award shows.
Yeah.
Like biggest deal, right? Um to go up and be like, this is May 13th. Also, I'm making another album for you all to buy and listen to, blah blah blah. Like it just seems weird. And my boyfriend is a fan of football and really likes the Chiefs. I have to mention this because this is also a thing going on right now. I know it's so like basic gossip news right now, but I'm sorry. I just have to say it. And he it's he's kind of turning me too because he's hating on their like relationship and just being like, oh, it's a publicity stunt, whatever. And the best jokes come out of it because then people are like, just wait, her next album is gonna be like, you were in the NFL and I fell for you. Like
Well, I saw one today that
there's
was
just
like he doesn't win the Super Bowl, and she was
and she
like,
leaves him. Bye.
"Have you seen that one?"
We
I
had a
saw that
good
one
run,
today.
buddy.
Yeah,
I'll see myself out.
she makes a song about it. You lost the Super Bowl.
I feel like it's kind of deserving. Obviously, there's also like the stuff about her private jets and her questionable relationships in the past, which I'm not super educated on, but I've heard some sketchy things. And just like seeing her demeanor and how she is portrayed, or like, did you see like afterwards when she was with Boy Genius and like
Yes,
it just
there's a specific reason I didn't like that TikTok that you sent me.
oh no, you got beef with me now too?
No, 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 girl, not with you. With T Swift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like after I saw that video, I was like, it just gave me a weird feeling in my stomach.
yeah.
Like it unsettled me a little bit and it kind of made me, dare I say, hop on the toxic gossip train of hating
Toxic
Taylor Swift.
gossip train.
I'm kind of here for it. I'm sorry. What about you? I feel like you're maybe a little more level-headed than I. I could be easily influenced sometimes if it's shown
This
enough
is
on my
true.
feed and it's like we all hate this person. I'm like, well, I guess I.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm not a
Well,
fan of Taylor Swift, so like I can't
yeah,
like. There's nothing if I don't lose anything if I start. No, I don't hate her, but like I'm just like, this is what an interesting turn of events. I'm entertained by this. That's how I feel about it.
yeah. Well, I feel like I'm on the complete opposite side in the sense that I don't do celebrity drama, like, at all.
Hmm.
It's exhausting to me, and I avoid it, like, at literally all costs, unless it's a celebrity that, like, I actively like. So then
Sure.
I need to know if, like, are they engaging in activity that I don't support? And do I need to not support them anymore? So
Mhm.
that's the only kind of drama that I delve in. I feel like with T Swizzle, I am not a fan of hers either. Never have been. My mother is an avid Taylor Swift hater. Like, has been my entire life. Like, says things about
Why
her
did
that
I never know that?
I will not speak of on the podcast. She does not like Taylor Swift at all whatsoever.
Wow.
Um, and so like nothing was ever like banned in our house. Like if I really wanted to like go on my own and listen to Taylor Swift, I could. And like I know her most popular songs, but like that was
Sure.
never something that was like played in our house because my mom didn't like Taylor Swift. So I'm not a fan of hers. I've never gotten into her music. I feel like people can attack her for things that are so irrelevant, you know, and just pointless. And then I feel like some of it is like I'm very much a person. Here's my opinion on like disliking people. If somebody like dresses a certain way or like likes a certain thing, I'm not gonna hate on them for that. It's like, have you ever heard don't don't yuck their yum? Have you ever heard that term? Don't yuck their yum.
No, and I
It's so
hate it.
good. No, it's so
Please
good.
never say that
Don't
again.
yuck their yum.
Don't
I
what their what?
I love it.
Sarah, not on this podcast. We can't talk about that here.
PG. No. But you get what I mean. Like don't hate on what like somebody likes, right? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I
But
feel very passionate about that too.
right. But at the same time, I'm also seeing so it's like when I'm also seeing other things of her actions, that's where I start to be I feel like annoyed is the better word by her. And like again, we're talking about Taylor Swift. She doesn't know I exist. Why should I care? You know
No,
what I
this
know?
is just purely for our entertainment and
Right.
my interest in what you think. I
Right.
I couldn't care less if,
Right.
whatever
So
comes
like
from this.
when I say this, I mean this in a purely fictional sense. But like I would never be friends with her cuz she annoys me. So like her on stage being like I'm releasing another album. Wrong time, wrong place. Literally could have been an Instagram post and you would have gotten just as much attention. And then also there's a very specific video that me and Danny are referring to of her backstage with one of my favorite bands, Boy Genius.
I was gonna say because we are big Boy Genius
Yeah,
fans
love
in this
Boy
household.
Genius.
Okay. Yeah.
Love Boy Genius. And if you watch the entire video, Taylor Swift does not shut her trap for any second of the video.
I love how you phrased that.
And it is so painful to watch. It's like
Hmm.
embarrassing.
It is. It's like
It's like
secondhand embarrassment. That is
embarrassing.
literally how I felt.
But at the same time, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I don't listen to her. She doesn't know I exist. I don't need to be her friend. I don't need to pretend that like I like her. So I just don't give my energy to it, you know?
Sure. I'm not saying I like or hate her. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I'm
just more annoyed by
entertained.
it than by
Sure.
anything.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah.
even the football stuff, like her and Travis Kelsey. I don't like Travis Kelsey either necessarily either. I think they're both full of themselves.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a big publicity thing. I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I think once this whole Super Bowl thing is over, it's gonna like fizzle out and they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
all right, we're done with each other.
People are like, "Oh, he's going to propose to her at the Super Bowl."
They haven't been dating that long. That would be insane.
Okay, well that doesn't stop any celebrity
No,
relationship ever.
but
That's
it
not
would
a
be
valid.
so bad.
Yeah.
I would take my eyes out with a fork. I would. I promise you right now. If Travis Kelsey, I'm putting this on the record. If Travis Kelsey proposes to Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, I am taking my eyes out with a fork.
Don't say that.
I am doing it.
It's the chance is not zero, Sarah.
I'm doing it.
You want to know what else is some absolutely great news that the viewers don't know?
Huh.
Sarah, guess where I'm going to be next week at this time.
Did you just censor yourself?
Yeah.
Where
You
are
get
you? Where are you gonna be next week at this exact time?
Have you ever heard of a man named Mr. Worldwide?
I don't want to hear about your fantasies of Mr. Worldwide and going to see him in concert.
It's not fantasies, they're real. They're real. It's happening.
I don't want to hear it.
Why are you upset? Why? Why are you hating on my dream? Literally, for the past like 5 years, on my bucket list to see in person has been Pitbull and Lady Gaga. One of those is coming true next Friday, and
I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad for you. But it's Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide, Sarah, on planet Earth. He is worldwide.
He named himself that.
And everybody calls him that, so what? Nobody else called themselves that.
I bet somebody
first.
does.
Nope.
I probably don't think he was.
Nope. Wrong. They're not the real worldwide.
He's Mr. Worldwide trademark.
Mr. World War.
That's what I agree with.
That's what I
he's
heard
Mr.
you
World
say.
War.
Oh, jeez. No, I am actually so excited. I am going with my mom, and she ordered us matching shirts. So, I mean, my month has been made. Honestly, I mean, that's
you and Mama Rocky at the Pitbull concert just makes me giggle. That image in my head just makes me giggle.
I will send you videos.
Please do.
I'll be in the darn it! Yeah! I know you want me!
Yeah, please do.
From the stands. Mr. Worldwide! Darn it! Okay. Just had to get that off my chest. I bought a water bottle for $10 off of Amazon the other day. And it's green. My other one is black, and I always forget it in my car. I try to keep it in my car, that way when I go to the gym, I remember to have a water bottle. But lately, I've been walking to the gym, and so I don't have my water bottle, or I don't have my car. So, I bought a new one that's green and a little bit smaller, so it fits in my backpack, hoping it makes me drink more water. Anyways, we should probably get into the topic. It's okay. It'll just be a little bit of a longer episode.
30 minutes.
Extra content for our fans.
We just got really passionate.
It's all right. Yeah, I just needed.
This is really authentic. This is just typically how our usual conversations go.
That's actually very true.
We bounce.
But now let's talk about
our TikToks.
Online content that we love to watch.
Also, another favorite topic of conversation of ours.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like it's one of our love languages.
It is. I don't say nice things to you, I send them through TikToks.
Yes. We're gonna share Sarah's first. It is a series of pictures, so it'll be like a little screen recording, but you guys get the point.
I feel like that wasn't my best friend that night. It was the devil.
Jesus Christ. You wanna just look at this for a second?
Somebody says Steve Harvey.
Oh my god, I should have read the comments. He's got dentures on? He's got veneers!
Why are the teeth so straight and white? Why does it look British?
It. If there's one reason to keep TikTok, it's for some people are just so
funny
in these gosh darn comments. Oh my god.
Why does Crouton have veneers?
Well, at least us. Okay, I'm done. That trend, though, dude. That trend is like.
Danny doesn't love it, but I do.
And that's what matters.
I just keep sending them to her.
I just have seen some of the absolute worst photos of pets ever. I don't think I've ever taken like that bad of a photo of any of my pets before.
There's one of Jackson that looks exactly like the one we just saw.
And I was trying to think of like if I had any, because I was like gonna make my own, but okay, now I'm gonna share my TikTok here.
Yep.
You got it?
Yep. Oh no.
Let me just say, I love this video because the pride that this dog feels, so much so that like it didn't realize that the garbage
No, it
went
kept going.
everywhere.
He kept
He
going.
finished, she finished the job.
Yeah,
And I think that's what matters.
it is. At the end
It
of the
really
day, if
is.
somebody runs into your garbage bag, you keep going.
Well, is that the message from this episode?
That's the message of today. The motivational message.
I just
If somebody rips your garbage bag, just keep going. So to actually talk about what we need to talk about today, we subtly mentioned with the worm earlier. I've had my little worm on a string since my freshman year of college, which if you didn't know, Danny and I are both juniors or third years in college.
we're edumacated.
We're educated.
Or whatever. We're seeking that degree.
We are. We're making it. But I think it's quite funny because neither of us go to the original university that we started out at, which should imply that there's some good stories there.
Also, you said making it. I feel like I'm like
We're making it.
clawing. I'm like
digging my way. No, I'm like ripping my
Yeah.
hair out, like gnawing my teeth. Like
yeah.
it's
Not at the bars. What's the saying that they say? I'm gnawing at my enclosure, shaking the bars.
That's me. That's me getting my degree.
That's me when they're just dangling the degree right outside my cage. I'm like, I'm at the bars, just
give me my degree. Yeah, that's how I feel too. But I figured.
Anyways,
I figured since we probably have some great stories of our college journey so far, we would focus on our first year of college because that is a ride. First year of college is a journey of all journeys.
honestly,
of all journeys.
but okay.
And so, well, we don't need to talk about your sophomore year.
I don't want to talk about my sophomore year, girl. Do not. That part is deep.
Those are the years
within my soul that only the closest people to me will know what I went through.
Those are the years that we go to therapy for. And those are the years we go to therapy for. Go to therapy, people.
We'll strictly talk about freshman year.
Yes.
I have a lot of more. That's a sentence. Mm-hmm. I have a lot more like funny whatever stories. Mm-hmm. I have like one positive thing. I don't want us to be like nagging the whole time and like, you know, if you're go to college, guys, if you can,
go to
please.
College. And like if it's not working
this isn't to try and
like it's okay to change your path. This is
oh my god.
We're doing a lot better now than we were our freshman year of college.
We just had to take a lap.
We just had to figure it out. We had to figure it out.
Yeah.
I moved
both of us
over 800 miles away. Was that a good idea? We will never know.
Dude, I remember when you told me, like, I'm going to school here. I
you
was
hung
like,
up
you're
on
doing
me.
What? Where?
No, girl, you hung up on me. I remember that vividly.
You're so right.
You hung up on me. I said I'm going to TU, and you hung up on me. You said I can't talk about this right now, and you hung up on me. And then I don't think we talked about it until like before.
Yeah. That honestly seems about right, but hey, look where we...
Anyways.
I mean, was I wrong? Was I...
I'm back.
But, important disclaimer, obviously, if you can go to college, it's good. If you change your major 2, 4, 8, 12 times, that is also okay. Literally, like, I've really embraced the idea of literally nobody knows what the heck they're doing.
Nobody.
And you never will. So... college actually overall has been a great and wonderful experience, even if there were some really tough times by 2023. But I have literally met some of the most important people in my life through college, and I have discovered a lot of things about myself, which I will talk about maybe on the more positive end towards the last half of this episode. Um, but just a disclaimer, if we're talking about these bad things, don't let that scare you from going to college
Well, yeah,
and pursuing a higher
it's.
education.
I mean, it's do whatever you want to do. It's a good thing
Oh yeah.
overall to just,
And if you don't, that's okay too.
if life isn't going your way, don't be afraid to change it up.
Exactly.
Change it up. That's our message of today.
Anyways, on that note,
that's the real message of today.
Yeah. Okay.
But we're here to talk about the funny
guess...
sides of. I only have funny stories of my freshman year, so we're gonna talk about this silly stuff that happened.
Do you want to start? Okay. Well, actually, let's start here. So my freshman year, both me and Sarah went to colleges far away. Mm-hmm. I was about 3.5, 4. Sarah moved states. Anyways, my freshman year, I lived by myself in a double dorm. So it was like a dorm room that was literally only however many square feet. But I was by myself, which I actually really enjoyed.
Yes.
I
was also in the same situation. Yep.
Yeah. We're in very similar situations, so it was easy to bond and to connect over for sure.
Yeah. It was also during COVID. COVID was still a big thing at this time, so that was another reason for being alone. At my university, you had to my freshman year, you had to get approval if you wanted to remain. Otherwise, they just you were automatically alone.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember too much of COVID from freshman year. Well, in general, no. But from freshman year of college, I remember having to wear masks and everything. But I also remember that if you got sick, you had to move out of your dorm room and go live in a different specific COVID specific dorm for a week or two.
Yeah, that's how ours was too. They had apartments.
I want to start where I feel is a great place to start. Communal bathrooms.
I didn't have to deal with them, so you take this away.
I know. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Listen, I had my own problems with my own bathroom, and I'm going to talk about them, but you talk about your issues with the communal bathroom because I didn't experience that, and that's a whole other beast of its own. So,
yeah. So, communal bathroom for a year. Luckily, my sophomore year, I moved into a room with its own bathroom. Literally the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying the communal bathroom was the absolute worst, but it definitely was one of the worst things about living in a dorm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, just I think the showers were the worst part. Communal toilets, communal bathroom. There were several times where you walk in and it's just absolutely disgusting. I feel I was lucky enough that I always heard of rumors of being luckily my friend group, very supportive, again, love them all to death, would send out, be I found this in the bathroom today, do not go in the bathroom. So we would either go to other floors, or actually there was a single stall bathroom, whatever, on every floor. Either way, the number of things that my friends had told me throughout over the freshman year of things they found in the bathroom was just very unfortunate. I mean, and obviously the bathroom that I used was a women's bathroom, and women have a thing called periods. The amount of period related trigger warning for my dad, because every time I say the word period, he's
grow up, father fish.
But women have periods.
Mm-hmm.
They need to use the bathroom in order to deal with the period, right? The amount of period related gross incidents that happened in this bathroom, whether it was just sanitary pads open, tampons on the wall, that was a thing. Thank God I never saw it, because again, my friends would be whoop whoop, warning. But that was something that was absolutely horrible. There was a janitor every Tuesday morning, and I remember always like passing by her and being like, "Have a good day," or like, "Thank you." I think it was Jayla. I think that was her name, and I would like always thanked her because I know the crap that she saw was absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the showers also. If you're going to college and you have to go to a communal bathroom, bring shoes. You
Yeah.
need shoes for the public
Do not
shower.
shower
I have
with your
seen
bare
people
feet.
without shoes. No, I have seen people without shoes, and it is literally like biggest fear. I don't know how you could ever do that. Which in turn, when I would go home and take a normal, enjoyable shower, not wearing shoes in the shower became weird. Like
Yep.
to feel the texture of like bathroom tub on my
Mm-hmm.
feet just became really weird. But the showers were about like I don't know, a 3 feet. Like they were like little cubes, like
Yep.
3 foot by 3 foot squares, very tiny. Not a lot of hot water a lot of the time.
Yep.
Um, just the weirdest conversations you would overhear, people cutting their hair and like midnight. Like it was a girl's bathroom, okay?
Right.
Um, when I felt like treating myself, there was a single stall and there was a shower in there, and sometimes I would use that. Sometimes I just couldn't put up with
Yep.
having to shower next to four other people in other showers that were only a couple feet away from me. Um, but that was probably the worst part
Yep.
of living in the dorm that I did. I do have other stories, obviously, that are maybe a little bit more specific, but just the thing I remember being most frustrating, and like having to walk to the bathroom to and from, like in a robe, or I never walked in a towel, God forbid, some people did. Um, it was just probably like the thing I missed the least, and the thing I hated the most
Sure.
about living in a dorm my freshman year.
Yep. I had my own bathroom in my dorm, but my room was the only one on my floor because I had an accommodated room, so I had a bathroom in my room. But my floor was a communal bathroom floor, so I did in fact see all of these things happening and seeing like used pads just like lying in the middle of the hallway.
Always the pads.
You realize how like disgusting people are. Like that's
That's literally a hazard.
that's not okay. Like that will get somebody seriously ill. Anyway, you realize how unsanitary
Enough
people
on
are in
bathroom
college.
stuff. Okay.
So,
You have one?
I have some like specific stories here.
Okay, I'll pull up some more specific ones too, but if you want to take it
Yeah.
away, go for it.
So, this one story that I have. It is the most wild story that I have. And the only way that I know it happened is because somebody else was with me. So,
Mm.
I'm going to relay the events back to you. This was
Okay.
this was after winter break. It was the day that I got back to my campus after winter break. And again, freshman year, I walked to my dorm. I unpacked my suitcase because again, I had moved to an entirely different state. And my good friend Leo, who ended up becoming my roommate my sophomore year, comes over to my dorm. We're chatting a bit, and we decide to go to his dorm because he had just moved on to campus after being a commuter student the first semester. And so we're walking from my dorm to his dorm, which is not far. It is like a 3-minute walk. Like, it is not far. And there's nobody. Like, it's like sunset. Like, people are just starting to get back on campus. Like, there's nobody. Literally not a soul. Can't see another person. Until, like, we start getting closer to his dorm. And we see this person, like, come out of around the corner. He's wearing, like, overalls. He's a tall guy wearing overalls. He's like, we're walking towards him. He's walking towards us. And we are just kind of chatting. We see him. We make eye contact, just kind of like smile and nod. And he's like, hey. Now, I'm going to preface this with I lived in the Bible Belt of the United States. So I lived
Oh God.
in a more religious part of the country. It's not the most religious, but still religion is, and faith and just God is very important to the people of the South, which is where I was living. And so this man walks up to us and he was like, hey. We're like, hey. And he goes, I'm really passionate about the word of God. I'm just out here spreading the Bible. Can I pray for you guys? Not weird, honestly, to get in the Bible Belt of the United States. Not a weird question to have somebody be like, can I pray for you? Fine. Yeah.
Sure.
Honestly, like, I'm
That's a
open.
normal thing?
Yeah. I'm open to faith. Whatever. If someone wants to pray for me, I see that as a nice gesture, right? They're thinking about me. They're wanting good for me. Things like that. As long as they're not being, like, hateful, being like, I hope this changes about them, God, then I'm fine with it, right?
Dear God, this ugly bitch just came up to me, and I'm just really hoping that they get less ugly. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. Like, as long as it's not that, I don't care. But anyways, that's the first thing he asks us. And we're thinking, all right, quick interaction. And Leo is with me, right? And he says, like, yeah, sure. We're both fine with this. Like, we both consent to this. And then he asks us, he's like, what's your guys' names? And we tell him, you know, just first names. It's not like we're giving him extreme information. We're like, what's your name? And he's like, my name is Sebastian. Which was immediately like, that is a name I don't hear very often. And I can't remember what else he said, but, like, he was having, like, casual conversation with us. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be praying for us right now? But then, now, I grew up Catholic. So when I envision, like, somebody praying for me, it's a very, like, private thing. It's not like a
like
very
intimate almost, maybe?
Yeah. It's not like an outward thing of, like, I don't feel very involved in it, you know? It seems like their own personal act. Yeah, raise your hand. And see, raise your hand. I'm calling on you.
I raised my hand. So when somebody prays for you, do they, like, is it like hand holding? Like, do they just
No.
tell you? Like,
Well,
what does the
here.
body language look like here? Because I cannot. The thing I'm picturing in my head maybe is probably not right.
Here's what I'm going to distinct for you, and it's a very important distinction in this story. So, as growing up Catholic, I only have, like, one specific memory of having people, like, pray over me, and nobody touched me. Like, it's not a physical thing. It was just like, okay, everybody bow your head. We're gonna say a quick prayer for these students. And you just say, hey, dear God, we pray that these students do whatever they need to do, are successful. Amen. That's what it is.
Okay.
Sebastian decides he's ready to now pray for us. He says, okay, let's turn and face each other. And I'm like, oh God. Literally, oh God.
You said that out loud?
No. I thought this all in my head. And I turn and I face Leo. And he's so, like, it's Sebastian standing, like, in between Leo and I. And he, like, grips our shoulders. To this day, when I think about it, I can still feel his hand on my shoulder. And he's, like, gripping it. And that was the first realization that I had, that we were alone on this campus. Two very small people, and Sebastian was not small. He was a tall man. I was like, ooh, we could die so fast in this situation.
You don't believe in you and Leo 2 versus 1?
No. In fact, I asked Leo after the fact, I was like, we so easily could have died in that situation. I said, what would you have done if he, like, brought out a knife? And he was like, I would have taken it and let you run. I was like, that's so nice. He was like, I would hope that you would, like, run and go get help. And I was like, absolutely.
Bare minimum.
No. I leave you there.
Just run and forget everything ever happened. Leave him to defend himself.
But yeah, he said he would let me go, and he would take the attack. I was like,
What a gentleman.
oh. It was just mostly because Leo can't run fast. Anyways, this is not a Leo trash session.
Anyways, hand on the shoulder.
Hand on the shoulder. He's gripping me, and he's like praying, right? He's praying like, Lord God, lift up Leo and Sarah. Let this be a great, like, I think we had told them we were freshmen, which was terrifying in retrospect to tell them we were very young. But he was like, let them, let this be a successful year for them, blah, 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 blah. I am looking at the ground the entire time because I am thinking if I look up at my buddy Leo across from me, I'm gonna laugh. And then we are both gonna die. Because Jesus is very important to this man. And if I laugh at his Jesus, it's not gonna go well. And so, anyways, he gets done praying. It was very nice. Like, it was very nice. I was not expecting it. But it was very nice. Let's go with my shoulder. And it's like, all right, have a good night. That was it. Leo and I are silent after this. We walk enough away to know that Sebastian cannot hear us. And we just turn to each other and bust out laughing. We were like, what just happened? To this day,
you both shared a fever dream.
To this day, neither of us. And now, Sebastian had told us that he was a student. If I didn't know somebody's name, I at least knew their face and could recognize that I'd seen them before, right? To this day, neither of us have seen Sebastian since. We have no idea what happened that day. So,
I mean,
my stories.
That's a good story. It is normal for, like, unfortunately, for people to go onto college campuses and preach.
Try to convert them. Yeah.
I will say, this is a shorter story to the one that I'm prepping here, which is, oh my god, the exact opposite of what you just said. But one of the very first weeks that I was, like, in my friend groups, whatever, we had all gone out to campus together because they were having an activity fair or something. There's like 5 or 6 of us. We were walking this activities fair, and there were preachers on our campus. Now, the school that I went to my freshman and sophomore year is a very liberal arts school. These preachers got the attention they wanted, okay, right? I'm walking around with my friends, 2 of my friends, and at this point, okay, I should preface. This was one of, like, the very first weeks that I don't even know if I had started classes yet, but I was with this group that are now my friends, but, like, at this time, they weren't exactly my friends. It was just, like, colleagues that I know live around me. Went up to these preachers and just started messing with them, asking the most diabolical, inappropriate, like, types of questions. Because they weren't allowed to be there, okay?
Right.
Like, I think they ended up getting kicked out. And 2, like, you can spread the word wherever you want. Don't do it on a college campus. Yeah. Like, that's...
You know what you're doing.
So, all I remember is watching these 2 people who I had known for, like, a week walk up and being, like, just vulgar in, like, question form, like, in an irony form, not like insulting, like, so I have these, I'm gonna bleep this out, but I want you to know, Sarah, okay? One of my friends went up and he was like, so when I is that a sin? And the best
what they say.
And what they say. I don't know. So they were out of earshot, so I don't know what the preacher actually said. But it was so funny because I was like, these are gonna be my best friends.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It was like one of my first impressions of them, and I'm like, I like these people.
Yeah.
These are gonna be my friends. Anyways, the story that I have to share is pretty iconic for my freshman year again among my friends. We like to retell this story a lot. Um I'm going to title it The Bitch Above Us. That is
Mm-hmm.
what we called this person.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally to this day in that friend group what we call her. So, as I mentioned earlier, I lived alone in a dorm. It was like we lived in a little subsection on the floor, honestly. There was like 5 or 6 rooms that were kind of like pushed away from like the main strip of dorms. And above my room, on the third floor, there was this girl who constantly had noise coming from her room. let's just let's just say that. Um
Suspicious
and
noise.
at first it was like kind of like, oh, well, okay, whatever. Like, I do what you want. I guess I don't
Right.
care. Like, you can't always whatever. Like, it's
Privacy
late.
is
I just want to
hard
go
in
to sleep.
college.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not really bugging me that much.
Right.
Um this started to become a trend over various nights for various weeks, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where I, looking back, I don't know if it was, shall I say, doing the nasty all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because the amount of times that this happened and for how long it
What
went
was
on, I don't think a
upstairs too?
person, it was upstairs. I don't think a person could endure that. Like, it got to a point where I'm like, I don't think this is physically possible. It can't be them, it can't be this girl hooking up with somebody. Like, it has to be something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
My two neighbors on both sides of me, because I was kind of right in the middle of that little hallway.
Mm-hmm.
They could also hear it, and so it became a thing that when we would hear this noise coming from upstairs, we would bang back. Okay. At first it started as just like a tap tap on the ceiling, like, hey, quiet up. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't, whatever. I still have a video. If I find it, I might put it in, where
I
it's
love
like
that video.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
This is several like literal weeks that this has been going on. It was like 2 p.m. I was like, "Oh my gosh, homework done early. Like, I'm just going to chill for a little bit before whatever." And I got so fed up. I'm not much of a petty person, okay? But when I stick my mind to something to be
Yeah.
either irritating or
Right.
whatever, I can last a while. I grabbed a glass bottle that I had from like a soda can or something, like one of those. The
It's like a lemonade.
Jones's soda.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what it was. It was a Jones soda bottle, glass bottle. I went up on my bunk bed and I banged that thing for probably like at least 5 or 6 minutes straight, because like I was just like laid down, like I was like on my phone, just like tap tap tap. Like, it didn't really take much thought. And what's so funny is, it became such a trend. Again, my neighbors could hear it as I was doing it. I heard Kate in the next room over be like, "Yeah, Danny, get her!" It was like one of my highlights. And a lot of the time it would stop. So it's like whatever she was doing, like, she knew it was happening and was able
Mm-hmm.
to control it enough that it would stop, because we were like, well, maybe it's like her fan, or like
Like
dude,
she's
I don't
making a
even know, but
craft.
like
I don't know. Yeah.
or something. I don't know, but like it wouldn't happen all the time. But when it did, it would last a long time, and it would usually be around night. Am I suggesting anything? You tell me. But my neighbors to my left, they they, they uh put a letter on her door, I think. Like, we're trying to sleep. We're trying to just like live peacefully without the idea of my upstairs neighbors getting it on, okay? Please quiet down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this didn't help. I would honestly, I'll have to ask them how long it genuinely went on, but it went on so much that maybe, I don't know if a specific person, I won't say who, one of my friends, of whoever the three I just dropped, no, one of my friends wrote up a fake letter from the college. Like they put up like from like head RA or like, something like that, and wrote out this like typed letter and like
Mhm.
printed it and
Mhm.
put it on her door.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you what, it stopped after that. It was it was like threatening. It was like, you've gotten so many noise complaints that like we could look into whatever, kicking you out or moving you to a new dorm or something. I
Mhm.
think it rarely happened after that, maybe once or twice, but like it decreased drastically after that action. So,
Yep.
do you remember me talking about that?
Yes. Yes. I remember
Yeah.
that video vividly of you smacking the glass bottle against the ceiling. Bang, 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 bang,
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would like go, yeah, I would like go around. Like I would like do it like in the middle of my room, then like on the
Yeah.
side, and I would like drag it, and I would like, I was mad. I was fed up.
Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
was
to this day
deserved.
we love talking about the of us
Yeah.
and how she was just maybe having just doing dirty things just so often, and no shame, of
No,
course.
no,
It's
no,
more
no.
from a place of like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
your endurance must be amazing.
Give me your secrets.
Yeah, what kind of cardio do you do, girl? Like, let me know.
You must be in the best shape of your life.
That's probably the most prevalent like ongoing like chronicle I have
Yeah.
from freshman year. um I could also rant about the specific building I was in. I promise you, we probably had at least 12 fire drills in one semester.
Mm.
That was just another thing that was
Yeah.
very common in the dorm I was in.
Fire drills were not fun.
No. That was also the year I got a Dell computer, and it made my life a living hell. So I am very anti Dell computers for now and forever. And I hate them. Well, I really highly dislike them because it caused me a lot of stress and pain. Don't get a Dell computer. Sarah says as she has a Dell computer. I've switched to Mac, man, and I'm just
I may or may
saying
not have a Dell.
it's best decision I ever made was
But to be fair,
switching to a
I
Mac.
don't do a lot on my computer. I'm not very like tech savvy. You are more. Your major is more reliant on your technology, so
This is true. This is very true.
I only rely on my laptop for the basics.
Yeah. I do have positive things to talk about as well. Do you have
Yeah,
any positives you wanna
of
you wanna
course.
share?
Of course. Well, I have some more funny stories. I just have like funny stories.
Oh, sure. Yes, please lead with those.
So, you mentioned some downsides of a communal bathroom. I luckily I did not have to really deal with communal bathrooms because I had my own bathroom in my dorm. However, I did live in a very old building, and it was one of the only buildings on campus that was not renovated, like at all. And so there was just a lot of problems, like a lot of problems with things not working. Maintenance was in our building all the time. And so one day I'm sitting in my room. It's like late at night. Like, well, not like late, but it's like night. Like it's like 10 o'clock. And I remember I was planning to go see my brother in Missouri the next day. And so that was a bit of a it's a bit of a road trip. And so I'm like packing my stuff up to have a little road trip the next day. And I'm seeing, because we have like, I don't know if you guys had like a floor group chat in your dorm, but like we had like
Yes, we did.
yeah, we had like a floor group chat too. And I'm seeing in like the floor group chat of like, hey guys, the hallway is flooding. And like it's flooding out of the communal bathrooms. Like the water's coming from the bathrooms. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And so I just have the random thought to check my own bathroom. And there is enough water in my bathroom that it covers my feet. There's
Entirely. Like ankle.
yeah, like enough. It is so surprising that the water did not come into my room. Like, it was
Must be nice.
When I tell you, it was flooded. It was flooded. And so, but I had things in my bathroom. So I immediately just like start taking things out of my bathroom. So I'm like, I can't afford to have this happen. And I'm also thinking, like, this is gonna come into my room. Like, it's already going into the hallway from those bathrooms. Like, who's to say it's not gonna come in my room? And so I'm just thinking, like, I'm screwed. Like, all of my stuff is just gonna be screwed. And I just, like, start throwing things on, like, my desk, my bed. Like, I'm just, like, tearing my room apart. All while I'm, like, packing to go on this, like, road trip. And so my RA at the time, love Julia, she became, like, there's always, like, these stories of, like, your RA and, like, how they're not that great of people. But I loved my RA. And she became one of my very good friends, Julia. And so Julia was not there at the time. And she said, I'm literally running. She was like, I'm literally running back to the dorm. She was like, somebody needs to call maintenance, like, right now. So, like, whatever. She gets back, and, like, I flag her down, and I'm like, the bathroom in my room is flooding. like, this is serious. Like, my stuff's gonna get ruined. And so maintenance gets there, and they see, like, okay, the hallways, and I'm, like, standing, my door is open, like, my door to the hallway is open, and I'm just, like, kind of standing in my doorway, and Julia's just kind of going back and forth. She's, like, hanging out in my room and, like, going back and forth. I think at, like, one point, like, she brings, like, chocolate over. Just, like, we started hanging out in my room. But then a guy, bald man, maintenance guy, he, like, sees me standing in my doorway, and he goes, you can go back in your door now, or you can go back in your room now. And I just look at him and I said, my bathroom's flooding in here. And he said, oh. And he he walks into my room and walks into my bathroom. Now, this flooding is happening because of the bathrooms. Like, something was going wrong in the plumbing through the bathrooms. So there was some material in the water.
No.
That was not okay. But I'm not going to go more into it. Because it was so disgusting. But, and this is in my room. And so he goes into my room, looks in my bathroom, and goes, oh yeah, you just have a clogged toilet. Excuse me? And he leaves. And I am so flabbergasted that this man is accusing me of flooding my own bathroom, that I just, like, slowly turn and look at Julia and just go, like, what? Like, what do you mean? And so he, like, walks down the hall. I'm like, how could it be, like, I clogged my toilet and flooded my bathroom when every single bathroom on my floor is flooding right now? Clearly, this seems connected and, like, not my fault.
Yeah.
Huh? Anyways, so then there's two other janitors who were, like, the janitors on my floor, and they were two females. We hardly had any, like, males, because mine was an all-female dorm. We hardly had any, like, male janitors, so the two janitors on floor were females, and they were lovely. They were lovely humans. They kind of came in.
Women saving the day.
Exactly. They came in through the door that was closest to my room, and they see me. They're like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, our entire floor is flooding. I was like, yeah, my bathroom.
Nothing,
just flooding. And they're like, what? And so they come into my dorm, and they look at my bathroom, and I said, the bald man out there, said that I clogged my own toilet, and that's the reason my bathroom is flooding. And they go, it's literally coming up from the bottom of the toilet. There's literally no way that it's a clogged toilet. And so I turn, I go, and I look at Julia again, and she goes, go yell at the man. Now, it is like almost midnight at this point. I'm tired. I just want them to fix my bathroom so I can go to sleep, so I can go see my brother the next day. And so I, with the rage of me, sleep deprived, run out into this hallway and begin yelling at this man. I am not a confrontational person, and I don't raise my voice, like, at all.
No, this is surprising to me.
Yes, I yelled at this man in the hallway at like midnight and was like, it is coming up from the bottom of my toilet. I don't understand how you think that can be a clogged toilet. All of the other bathrooms on my floor are flooding. That seems to be a connected issue. It is clearly not a clogged toilet. At this point, there's more than just the bald man. There's like other maintenance guys with. So I'm yelling at this bald man with like other maintenance people around. And so I partly think that's the reason that he couldn't be like a jerk back to me. But then he was like, okay, we'll figure it out. And like literally like 10 minutes later, they had come in and like fixed my bathroom. And like it was all good. And they like put a fan in there to dry it out. But we also had like another, so like a very quick thing from my last dorm rant was, again, I lived in a not very great area of my city. And so like things happened. And there was somebody in the basement of our dorm who had a mental health crisis, like a pretty severe one. And our entire building was put on lockdown. But we were not given the reason that we were put on lockdown. And it was dinner time, and I was hungry. So I just left. During lockdown, I was like, bye guys. I'm gonna go get some food, and I'll be back. I texted Leo that, and I was like, I'm leaving. He was like, Sarah, you can't. I was like, watch me, I bet I can. And I did. I went, got dinner, and came back, and everything was fine. There was like cops like surrounding the building. I don't know how I managed to get by, but that was something that happened. Anyways, that's my dorm rants.
Okay, obviously these conversations have revolved a lot around dorm issues, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
dorms are tough.
They are like, they
weren't the worst experience ever. They weren't like
no.
the terrible like horror stories that you sometimes hear, but it wasn't like my favorite thing either. Yeah. I was happy to be out of them. But it wasn't like it was like horrific.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell the full story, but I feel like I just have to say it. My sophomore year, the 4th day that I was in my dorm, and the dorm I was in my sophomore year was like, it had like 2 single bedrooms, a living room, and our own bathroom, just me and my roommate.
Right, like
our room flooded.
Yeah.
Our room flooded so incredibly bad. Got into our bathroom, both of our rooms, eventually got into the living room and out into the hallway near other rooms.
Yeah.
One of the worst experiences ever. So I also can relate to a flooded. I'm very happy that the water didn't get into your room.
I was like, you had a
also,
door.
I'm very happy that, I'm also very happy that the water in our room came from the sink, so it was not gross.
Yeah, it was horrible. But I won't speak of those matters.
On those notes of bad dorm experiences, I do want to share the positives. Maybe a one. I have like 2 things. One's a little smaller than the other, but the only thing that I need to brag about from my freshman year and living alone is that I had a mega bed. I put both my beds together, and it was like almost king size.
Yeah, I wish I would have done
and
that. And
it was
mine.
absolutely the best thing, core memory. Like all my
Yeah.
friends would come over, we would all sit. We'd either sit on top or I made like a space underneath and we'd sit underneath too. And so that was the extra money definitely paid
All the
paid off
money.
because yeah, for my mega bed because I was one of those college students who had a mega bed.
Yeah.
On that note, the better, maybe more important thing I should share about my freshman year of college and literally moving away from everyone I knew in my family to a town I've never been to or heard of. Um, it really caused me to it almost felt like it gave me an excuse to kind of embrace things that I was too afraid to embrace
Mm.
before.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do anything crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like my freshman year I really got into like my true, at least obviously it's changed over the years, but I've really embraced like my true style,
Mm-hmm.
expressing myself how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like appearance stuff, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I changed my wardrobe a lot and I changed my hair a lot. I dyed my hair a couple times throughout the past 2 years of being in college. And I don't know, it just felt like kind of the perfect time to
Mm-hmm.
do something like that. And especially going to a place that no one knows you and you don't know anyone
Mm-hmm.
and nobody around you, like you don't have anyone near, it kind of just gave me an excuse to be like, what if I did this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
nobody can really stop me. And I feel like as a person who I don't know, I'd say like throughout my childhood, even now, I'm still like a generally keep to myself, shy kind of person when I choose to be. And so being put into that situation where it's like, oh, like I gotta go out and make friends and be social and whatever, fine. Um, it also caused me to not so much, I won't want to say break out of my shell because that sounds so corny and I don't really feel like I was ever in a shell.
Mm-hmm.
It more just gave me the opportunity to embrace, again, embrace new things,
Right.
change. A lot of change was happening, so I
Right.
was like, let's change some more things.
Right.
Some of it was out of my control. Well,
Yeah.
no, a majority of it was like in my control, like going to a new school and stuff, but a lot of it like changing my forms of expression and fashion or how I looked or whatever, like um definitely felt like the right time to change those things. And high school, like going from high school to college is just, I mean, over that first year, I just changed so much as a
Wild.
person as
Yeah.
a
It's
freshman. I was
wild.
like a senior in high school, like freshman high school me versus freshman college me. I mean, even freshman me to me now, like
Yeah.
there's just so much change happens.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing,
Right.
obviously, and
It's
it's
not always
inevitable.
scary. Yeah.
But it's just, no, it's always going to, I mean, it's different. It's always going to be different. And so that was my first time kind of learning to take care of myself because I was
Mm-hmm.
living by myself,
Mm-hmm.
um, beyond my own schedule and be a little bit more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of really forces you to learn how to, I mean, rely on yourself. And I don't
Yeah.
want to say be an adult because I feel like that sounds kind of funny, but I mean, it's kind of true.
Right.
It just gives you that time and space to kind of
Right.
figure things out.
You learn how to
It's a
like
breath of fresh air, but the air is also scary.
terrifying. It's terrifying. You learn that like
Yeah.
you can survive on your own. Like you are a lot more capable than you necessarily think you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also think too, like the people that you surround yourself with at that time is also very important. Like who sticks around, who is constantly reaching out
Ooh, yeah.
is
Yeah.
so important during this
Well,
time of
especially
life.
because both you and I moved far away.
Yeah,
So, you really learn like, oh, the people I saw every single day in high school, like now maybe there's more of an effort they have to put into
yeah,
friendships and
right.
relationships now that we lived so far away. And yeah, sorry to say, you're gonna lose people.
You are, and it's gonna
And that's
suck.
okay, but you're also gonna meet new people.
It's gonna suck, and it's gonna suck so bad. But the thing is, and I will say, a lot of the reason that I transferred was because it was such a lonesome experience in the state I was living. And like that was some of like the worst state that people saw me in. And I don't let people see that side of me, like, ever. It was scary to a lot of people. But I don't necessarily like, because when you're that alone and you think that you have nobody, it becomes very scary. Like, that is so terrifying. But I don't necessarily think of those times. When I think back to like the times, like really like the darkest moments that I experienced there, I always think about the people who were with me during those moments.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think of Leo, because like when I got sick my freshman year, Leo went to the ER with me. Like, my family was not there, they were out of town. I was completely alone. I was so scared. I was so sick. And he was like, let's go. Literally, the two of us, two very small, like, children.
I'm your mom now.
He was like, let's go. He was like, we're going to get you help. And so we, like, went to the ER. I think of, like, you, and, like, literally, we're over 800 miles away from each other. And still, like, look at us now. Like, we made it work. And that was so scary. And we didn't necessarily think it was going to happen. But, like, again, you put in the effort. Again, just like a text. And, like, we were FaceTiming all the time, but just, like, texting each other that's all you gotta do. Just being like, hey, how are you?
Honestly.
How's your day? What did you do today? That's all it takes. And, like, again, just those little people. Even, like, the little interactions. I think of, like, my coworkers at the jobs that I were at, who were like, hey, how's it going? Just those little interactions. So even though it's like very scary, adulthood is scary, early adulthood is scary. I can only speak of like early adulthood because that's the only place I'm at. It can be scary, it can be lonely, but still, when you reflect back on it, those are not necessarily the things that you're going to focus on. It's like, wow, that was really scary. That was really terrifying. Like, yeah, it was. I can acknowledge that, but I'm also going to think, wow, that was really funny that Leo and I showed up at the ER. That was a really fun experience that happened, and that
you guys will share forever.
We will, and we've been to the ER since, both of us separately, and we text each other every single time. We're like, oh, guess who's at the ER again? It's like a funny little joke between us, but I think that's a good little message. Even if you think you're alone, you're not. There's always
I feel like there's
always somebody who's rooting you on.
Well, and this is again coming from two friends who moved very far away from a town they've literally lived in their whole lives. So obviously it might be even, I mean, it still could apply to you if you're going to a familiar school. It could apply to you in a school that's states away. Yeah.
It's a transition of life.
Like I said, the people that specifically last year, sophomore year, again, hush hush, but the people that I met,
Hush,
you
hush.
know, that cared for me, and literally did, you know, kind of see me ish, as much as I let them, during those times will literally be people I want in my life forever. Like, I feel like all growing up, I always heard my mom talking about like, oh, my college friends and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I get it now. I get it now because, you know, some of those friends that I had also were in the same experience. They were like, I live 5 hours, 6 hours away and I have nobody, you know, so you kind of bond over that new experience of being, they become your family and they become, you know, you share this experience of living on your own for the first time and kind of morphing into an adult, and
Mhm.
you check in on each other, and that's with the friends you have there, but again, it's also the friends that you had back home.
Mhm.
And like we said, you are going to lose people, but you will also find people that are 10 times worth
Right.
that maybe that what those other friends were worth.
Right. You figure out who you're, and it's so cliche and so dumb, but you figure out
It
how, like,
is. That's why I feel kind of funny.
you feel like you genuinely figure out who your true friends are at this time of
Yes.
life. It
Sounds
sucks.
kind of shady, maybe,
It
but it's
sucks.
true.
But it's so worth it in a
Mhm.
way. Like, when I think about it, I'm not like sad about it.
No, I don't. I mean,
Just
I
like
miss
it
my
had to
friends.
happen. Well, yeah, obviously, but it had to, like, it. The ones I lost a lot. The ones we lost along the way.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about the ones that I left
Well,
at my old
yeah.
school ever
Obviously,
since
yes, you
moving
miss
here.
them, but they're like still your friends. They're still your friends.
Yes.
But the ones who
Yes.
were like, oh, they were my friends. I don't feel sad about it
Oh
necessarily.
yeah, I don't miss them.
No.
Sorry, I don't miss them
I
at
don't
all. Sorry,
necessarily
not sorry.
feel sad about it. It's just like we went our separate ways.
Chapter closed.
Yeah, life happened. Life happens.
And then 5 years later, you'll get a Snapchat flashback of everyone hanging out, and you're like, oh. Oh.
Knife to the chest.
Interesting.
No,
Huh.
honestly, I giggle at them.
Or
I see my dead dog and I giggle.
well, I'm glad that comes from
Him.
I mean, I
This
do
one.
send you some sometimes.
That
one!
This one. Yeah, you do. I do genuinely
Yes.
love them. It doesn't like stab me in the heart. I do giggle
Yeah.
at them. If I
Yeah.
didn't like it, I would
Yeah.
make that very clear.
I know. Well, I wouldn't send
you
them
asked
to you
me-
if I knew you wouldn't
You
like
asked
it.
me like very shortly after he
Did.
died. You're like, "Can I send them to you?" I was like, "Yes, please do."
Yeah. Please do. It helps.
Yeah, it helps.
Anyways.
Snapchat memories are great.
that is our what we talked about drama, we talked about college,
dorms,
we got a little
bathrooms.
sentimental there. It was a whole full circle,
It
whatever. We covered a lot of stuff
We
here.
got-
This is gonna be like a mega episode of
I like it.
just real Danny and real Sarah, and it feels good.
Yeah, it felt good. Hey, what'd you eat today?
Yes. Okay, actually, well, okay, I think it's funny, maybe it's not funny.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I was feeling really funky earlier. Okay. Like,
Explain.
okay,
Elaborate.
when I drink coffee,
Uh-huh.
there's about every like 10 coffees I have over the span of I don't drink coffee that much, by the way, but every 10 coffees I have over the span of like a month, there's always one in there that makes me feel a little weird.
No, I get
You
this.
know?
Yeah,
And
I understand.
and it-
Yeah.
And it makes me realize I really shouldn't be drinking this.
Yeah, I
know
agree.
shouldn't, but I do. Why?
No, I
Why
agree.
do I? So I'm on a really weird. I sometimes have a really weird eating schedule, and it's not anything bad. It's not on purpose. It's literally just because I forget, and I am not hungry in the morning, so I do not eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I went to class,
Mm-hmm.
went to get a little treat for me afterwards. After I've been saving money for like 3 weeks, this is the first little treat I've bought for myself in a long time. So I was like, I deserve this chocolate chip muffin. So
Love a
I
muffin.
got a chocolate chip muffin. And I got a hazelnut latte.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually when I have coffee, I always drink it when I have food in my system. Because if I don't have food in my system, that's when like my stomach hurts.
Yeah.
This time around, I had it, and a couple hours later, usually caffeine doesn't affect me, but I'm gonna say the caffeine affected me because I just started feeling anxious. Okay. I have an anxiety disorder, guys, but usually I can tell. I can manage it. And this time around I was like, hang on, like I don't feel good.
Yep.
And I have had about 2 or 3 spouts within the last 3-4 months of me getting dangerously lightheaded. Dangerously lightheaded to the point where I'm like, I might pass out. Like I like go through the motions of being like, okay, if I pass out right now, like
What am
Who's
I
gonna
gonna
find my
do?
body? Where am I gonna fall? What am I gonna
Who's
do?
gonna find my body?
I was saying, if somebody walked in and just saw me pass out on the ground. So, and I promise I'm like trying to be better at it. I genuinely, it's just literally because I am not hungry and I do not like eating when I'm not hungry because then I feel bloated. Anyways, so like around like 2 p.m., I finished homework and I was like, I'm feeling really anxious, feeling a little shaky, feeling a little lightheaded, feeling two in my head. Like this is definitely has to do with what so I panicked a little bit and I made like so many fish sticks. Made an ungodly amount of fish sticks because I'm like, I need to fuel my body.
Let me just gorge myself with fish sticks.
Fish sticks and mozzarella sticks, Sarah. That was my dinner. I was
I
like,
love that.
oh I'm like, quick, get these in the oven. Like that's literally how I felt. Like, go. I'm running against the clock here. But I ate them all. I've been drinking water. I'm probably, and I ate some Oreos after that because I was like, maybe my sugar. Like I don't know. I'm
it
trying
could
to
be,
make
yeah.
sense of it
Blood
somehow.
sugar, yeah.
So I had some Oreos, and I'm feeling better now. But
Good.
I have been just sitting here for a while, so we'll see after that.
Rest.
But to sum it up, I had coffee, a muffin, so many fish sticks, an ungodly amount of fish sticks, like 2 mozzarella sticks and some Oreos.
At least you fueled
I'm
your
working
body.
on it.
At least you fueled
Yeah,
your
I
body.
fueled my body.
You fueled your body.
I was listening to my body as, you know, like there was like a little blinking light,
Yep.
and then like a little like burr, burr, and then it was like burr, 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 fuel your body. Like I ignored the signs
Fish
earlier.
sticks.
Yeah, I need fish sticks. So that is what we had, and that is what I ate.
I love that.
But I'm gonna have to start having. I don't know if I need like a granola bar in the morning. I'll eat
Yeah.
on the bus or
Maybe
something.
like a little protein bar. Or something.
I don't even know. I gotta find one that I gotta find a granola bar that I like or something.
Get some go-go squeeze.
Applesauce is a hard texture for me.
If you get
it tastes good though.
If you get the Target brand apple puree in the pouch, it's their pouches. No, don't be.
That sounds more difficult.
Don't be fooled by the puree. Is the texture like the chunkiness of the applesauce?
Yeah, like the graininess.
So the Target one is smooth. Try it. Try it out.
Smooth. I like my applesauce smooth.
It's smooth. It's like totally smooth. It like weirded me out at first because I was like, smooth.
Smooth applesauce.
It's smooth. So like get a little pack. Try it out.
Okay.
Little applesauce.
Sarah, what did you eat today?
I force myself to eat breakfast in the morning just because I am a commuter, so my I don't live close to my campus. Well, I don't live far, but I don't live close. To be vague.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be vague.
It's somewhere in between far and really, really close.
I live a distance.
That's literally what you just said.
I live a certain distance from my campus. You know? And so
I can go the distance, and by distance, I either mean 5 hours away or maybe like 2 minutes.
You'll never know. You will never know.
You'll never know.
Unless you find my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
She has a private account.
I do. I force myself to eat because I need to like be fueled for my day because I don't always know what my day is gonna look like.
Exactly.
So this morning I had oatmeal. I love oatmeal. If you hate oatmeal, we need to talk.
So good. I didn't say I love oatmeal.
No, I'm talking to the people. If they say they don't like oatmeal, let's just talk. I'm not. I swear I'm not. This is not a threat. We just need to.
This isn't gonna be the bald man and the clogged toilet incident.
No, I won't yell
This
at you.
is just a civil conversation.
We just let's have some understanding because oatmeal is good. Anyways, oatmeal, cutie. I work with children. Vitamin C is important. I had. Here's where it gets random because typically in the morning I have yogurt with granola, like a little tiny like yogurt cup with granola in it because it just keeps me full. There was none. So I grabbed some broccoli from the fridge with some Thai chili dipping sauce. I dipped those suckers and ate it for breakfast. And then my dad came in with donuts. And I was like, screw this broccoli, I'm having a donut.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was good.
Awooga.
And then I also had coffee. And then lunch, I was working. So it was a very simple lunch. PBJ, some popcorn, some appy sauce, the Target brand.
The smooth kind.
The smooth puree kind. A granola bar, some cookies, some fruit snacks. Again,
That's good.
fuel. And then I had Jersey Mike's for dinner because my dad got some.
Ooh.
I feel like we should stop talking.
We've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. It's my bedtime in 30 minutes, guys.
I gotta go.
But I had an absolute blast talking to you, Sarah.
This was fun. This was a raw. This is a raw version of us.
Little back to normal. It really was.
After the last one,
description,
yeah.
I'll be like, in this raw episode of Too Stupid, Sarah and Denny get deep. No, we didn't even really get deep. You think that's deep, girl? Just hold on.
Get us in the hot tub.
That is
That's
so
when you'll see it.
real. Oh my god.
Anyways.
Yeah, we'll do a hot tub episode.
Should we?
No.
No.
There's no cameras anyways.
No. Okay.
Okay, we gotta end this.
End it. Okay, we're ending it. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
With Danny.
2 weeks.
With Danny.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks, girl.
Mm-hmm. I will be hosting.
You will.
Peace out.
We shall see what happens. Peace.
Mic
Too
drop.
stupid out.